Right, time to get all the new signings that run out from the summer. The ones that Ten Hag signed. Because I've really done nothing here. Have I only signed Jamie Vardy? Hang on. Is that all I've done? I've only signed Jamie Vardy. Run the intro. Folks, and welcome back to a big day, Manchester Derby day, and have we got a story to tell then? So, we've played quite a few games since we last met at the end of the January window, of course. Burnley, Bournemouth, LASK and West Ham have been played. A 6-1 win in the first leg saw us march through, despite a 3-1 defeat away from home. Yeah, a little concerning. Yeah, a bit of rotation, but one of those things. The 0 against West Ham is arguably the most disappointing, but the league table looks like this. We are 3 points off the top with a game in hand on Arsenal and 2 games in hand on Tottenham. But you can see Manchester City sort of waiting in the wings. And the big thing about Manchester City, is that we play them not once at the end of this season, but twice. So we have 2. It might even be the next episode, although Arsenal in there. Ooh, maybe Arsenal. You can see there as well, we've got Brighton in the next round of the Europa League. So we might do a Brighton second leg Arsenal game. That makes sense, actually. I think that's probably what we'll do. But this game against City then. Now, I'm hoping they've got some injuries. Oh, Kevin De Bruyne is one of the injuries. I was kind of hoping it would be Haaland. But yeah, Kevin De Bruyne is unavailable. 4 days to 2 weeks. He will not play today, which is really good news. Kovacic is struggling as well. Their midfield, they've got Nunes, Foden, Phillips. They're fine. They're absolutely fine. Whereas our team, again, fine. So much information on all of our players. Again, still so many players wanted. Still Harry Maguire rumoured to be wanted by Real Madrid. I would love that. In fact, I almost want to say that if I do sell Harry Maguire, I will only sell him to Real Madrid. This is the wrong screen. It's like we're live, viewers. No, there we go. Sorry, my apologies. There was no subtrain for this. So we now have to battle through with this team because Mason Mount is injured. He has been a really, really, really good signing. If he were doing this for Manchester United in real life, people would be loving it. 9 assists, 6 goals in 21 games, a 7.56. You may have seen it before. The second best player in the league, and Nkunku not too far behind. And you see Rashford, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka and Dalot all very, very close as well to the top of that tree. Haaland, Salah, Odegaard, Silva and Nkunku, names you probably expect to see in and around there. But yeah, these Manchester United players are filling it up. And we've had a really, really good season. We just have to see if we can hold our nerve towards the end of the year, because you lose both games against Manchester City and no longer are you talking about a title, you're talking about making sure that we get back into the Champions League, or then having to rely on the Europa League to be in the Champions League. So very, very stressful. And actually, speaking of which, now we can see the Europa League sort of as it really is. These then are the 16 teams left in it. And my optimism before about the fact that we're definitely going to be fine, this is all going to be great, it's evaporated somewhat. And the likes of Liverpool being in there now, by Leverkusen, it's got a little tougher, especially when we're losing to LASK just randomly. Anyway, let's get into this game, running through the team and some of the ideas I've got for Manchester City. Now, because we're having to play McTominay, I do actually think, in the weird way, it might make us better suited for a game against City than if we played Mason Mount, because Mason Mount is someone that does like to get forward, does like to get sort of be the last runner into the box, whereas we might not have that as much with McTominay. And actually, I'm going to change up his role slightly to a ball-winning midfielder. Now, I don't use them very often, but I want someone to get in and spoil what City are trying to do. And then obviously, once we're in forward positions, you have Fernandes support the front three, and I'm going to keep those boys very much pushed up. City like to leave that type of space, don't they, in full-back areas? We want to try and make the most of that, so let's see how we do. The other change, by the way, I just realised, because I haven't done it yet, Harry Maguire to come in for Lissandro Martinez. I'm sure the comment section will, but please start Harry. He's been fantastic in my mind. All right, then. It's a Super Sunday. Burnley kicking it off. Actually, all games are at 3 o'clock, so never mind. And a Carabao Cup final between Arsenal and Championship Leeds. They are top of the Championship, but Leeds have managed to get themselves to the final of the Carabao Cup, beating Manchester City over 2 legs to put themselves there. So they could, if they beat Arsenal, somehow be in Europe next year and newly promoted, which would be very fun. In fact, I'd quite like to go there. But as a Manchester United manager, I definitely cannot be saying that. That just sounds like fun, doesn't it? I mean, is it Europa League or Conference League? Either way, Europe. That's amazing. All right, then, there is the City side. It's, Nunes has come in. Correa's come in for them as well. As their wingers, Foden and Correa, that is interesting with Haaland up front through the middle. The rest of the lineup looking pretty familiar. Although Akanji at left back, I know he can play there, but it is an odd one. And Edison steps out for Stefan. I don't know, City not at full strength, especially with De Bruyne that we mentioned before, not starting for them. So this gives us a bit of a chance. And this is one of those games where it's a bit of a leveler. We're really going to find out here where we actually sit in sort of the ecosystem of Manchester. Are we as good as City, or is our league position a little bit skewed right now because we've not yet played them? You can see their form though, a loss and a draw in there. So they're not in the best moment, I guess. That's good. And you can see coming to the league table at least, even if City was to win their game in hand, even if they win this game, they won't go above us in the table. But it's the idea that I then have to play them again in the future that makes me a little nervous. So it's, Eric Ben Haag versus Pep Guardiola. And here we go then. Luke Shaw plays the corner in. Maguire to McTominay. It's been blocked. Anthony, oh my goodness me. I sort of thought that was going to go. I sort of paused thinking, oh, that's not going to come to anything. Then Anthony on the left foot, 2 minutes in, an absolute thunder whack. We'll call it that. Maguire does really well. Chests it down, lays it off. And then, McTominay with a shot against Haaland's chest. And from the edge of the box, first time with the volley, Haaland jumps to block it, can't get there. Stefan is beaten, and Anthony makes it 1-0. All right, free kick, to City as Maguire rises with Rodri at the back post, does really well to get it away. I don't know if you saw it in the bottom left there, but a win here, we would go top of the league table as Højlund's trying to do something. Oh, we can't quite get in front of John Stones, who unleashes an effort of his own from the edge of the box, and it stays then. And Bernardo Silva, quite far out, goes for goal and shoots again and hits the top of the netting. It's we've scored the goal. Now it's a City onslaught. We've certainly woken them up, but so far, so good. We've got to try and stay resilient. Again, Scott McTominay in there. He's on a booking already. I think it was Casemiro on as well, did I just see? Yeah, Casemiro and McTominay already booked 16 minutes in. Oh, God. Red cards have very often ruined my days on Football Manager, and I feel like today might be one of those days. But Harry Maguire in lots of space into Scott McTominay, who I just want to keep nice and simple, Scott. Nothing crazy for now. We've got players off the bench if we need to. And now Højlund running forward with it. He's got options in the middle. Players trying to get up to support as well. Even McTominay's on the edge of the box in a little bit of space, but the ball inside is not good. And now Foden releases Matthias Nunes. Scott McTominay's chasing back. He's on a yellow card. I'm very scared. I'm very nervous. Just go run with him at least. Never mind. All the way across to Correa. They've sort of stopped a little bit. The ball's played back in. It's hit the post. Wan-Bissaka gets it clear. And then, oh, dearie me. Well, that could have very much been a Manchester City goal, but once again we do survive. But even from this throw in, Akanji at the unfamiliar left back spot, I know he's played there a few times, but still unfamiliar, as Bernardo Silva back to Ruben Diaz. And you can see the way in which City are pinned in a little bit. Actually, the wide areas on the counter not that fruitful as Zach Steffen comes all the way out, playing like Edison, of course, all the way pushed up. As now Correa again in towards Haaland. I feel okay. There was, from the angle we're looking at it, I thought we'd passed it into our own net. Did anyone else feel the same, or was that just me? Anyway, we almost left an open goal, but Foden couldn't hit it hard enough. As a corner comes in, and Harry Maguire's at the front post, and Bruno plays it into him, and oh, Maguire. Proving, though, and that's really nice to see, that on those set pieces, we can still be dangerous. But the highlights are coming thick and fast here. Bernardo Silva into Correa, who, again, keeping City in this type of area isn't too bad. But the way that they've sucked in Luke Shaw there, Fernandes puts a tackle in, but it's not the best one, it must be said. And now City's tiki-taka style, again, still able to do this possession in our half. It's very scary. It's very dangerous. There's Bernardo Silva, plays the ball into Erling Haaland, and, well, oh, their flag has got up. Haaland seems pretty confident. The City boys seem pretty confident, but the assistant was up very quickly with the flag. I guess we're going to see. Is that one a goal? No, it's been disallowed. Well, Erling Haaland's excitement was short-lived because it's still Manchester United 1, Manchester City 0. And I do wonder, the problem is, a lot of this is like, oh my goodness me, his leg does seem to be lingering offside actually. So I think that one's fair enough. Anana can't do anything for the finish, but it doesn't matter. Now, hopefully that sets them back a little bit as the ball now camped in their half, in their corner. So much going on here in this first half. Lofted in. Bruno's under it. Finds Luke Shaw on the edge of the box. He's got a little bit of time. He runs to the byline. He goes for it. Oh my goodness me. Wow, that was like so weirdly realistic. To speak not as the manager of Manchester United, and to speak as a Football Manager player, that cross-come shot from Luke Shaw, you very rarely see something like that. That was really, really nice. Again, the match engine this year, hopefully you can see from my excitement of watching it, is really, really great. As I speak all of this, we are at half-time, and so in my mind, we've made it, which is not too bad. And actually, we're not that deep comparably to Manchester United, although, of course, the front boys probably finding it a little hard to get involved so far. There is a temptation to maybe assist one of my fullbacks if I think they need it. I've just continued the second half without doing anything. Let's go back here a moment. Okay, so these boys on yellow cards, like Casemiro, I am very, very tempted to get him off for someone to sit at the base. But hang on, is Amrabat even fit? Oh my God, Amrabat is fit and I didn't put him on the bench. Okay, now would be a really good time to bring on Amrabat and I didn't put him on the bench because Donny van der Beek's there. All right, but speaking of which, Donny, for someone like McTominay, probably is the move, but only if this game evens out a little bit. That's probably the thing. And Bruno Fernandes, obviously no defensive sort of attributes at all, really. I am worried about what Casemiro is going to have to deal with now. Again, 6.4 on a booking, having to do an awful lot. I might try something like this, actually. Like Scott McTominay, again, he's a decent defensive, like, ball-winning player. I'm wondering if that, for the second half, might be better, just so they can support one another, not necessarily get each other sent off. And up front, again, we've got Hutchinson having a really tough time. It might be just one of those games where I need a Jamie Vardy shit-ass performance. And do you know what? I'm going to make the move early because I don't want him frustrated. I think defensive pressing forward from Vardy. Just give me a full half of running, Jamie, please, and we'll see what happens. I've made the change now just after half-time, as they nearly had a corner there, which is now gone. Correa and Foden both booked as well, actually. Didn't notice that, so that might prove to be pretty useful at the same time. If we take a look at the Manchester City formation, I probably should have had this up a long, long time ago, but here we are. Yeah, both wingers booked, which is interesting. And Haaland is a poacher at 6.3. Other than the goal he scored again, which was ruled out, he's barely been involved. So hopefully it stays like that. And now, hopefully the Casemiro McTominay duo in the middle can offer us just that little bit better balance, and it gives Fernandes the opportunity to run beyond Vardy. Dropping in again as a defensive pressing forward might just work out for us. There's Wan-Bissaka to the byline. If you can pull it back, there's Bruno Fernandes. And that's exactly what we're talking about. 68 minutes gone. Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. That was basically perfect. Deary, deary me. Wan-Bissaka driving to the byline, pulls the ball back to Bruno Fernandes, and into the back of the net it goes. Wan-Bissaka throws the ball into Anthony. Ball lofted in again by Wan-Bissaka. Rashford's there. No, Stefan claims. We're 2-0 up, though. That's the real story here. And Marcus Rashford having a quiet game. It might be a tricky Jadon Sancho last 15 that we need here, as Varane does really, really well against Haaland again, who has been basically marked out of the game. Anthony into Jamie Vardy. Can he finish it off? Oh, my word, that was the moment, Jamie. He cannot. Wayne Rooney would have scored it. I'm on the court case. All right, the time's ticking away, and what a Manchester derby this has been. And the best bit, I've got to be honest, we've deserved it. That's what feels the best about it. City have had their possession, but we've had the XG, we've created the chances, we've defended phenomenally well. Massive shout-outs to Casemiro and McTominay, who are underrated in this game, really, have just stifled and stopped. You saw the amount of chances they had in the first half, City. We didn't see nearly as many in this half. And look at the way the league table is shaping up, by the way. 61 points for 3 teams right now. What we've done is put ourselves 7 points clear of City. Yes, there's another game in hand for them, but we still have to play them, remember. So, wow, would you have had these 3 at the top of the table at the start of the season? Maybe not, but Manchester United right now sit at the top of it, and a 15-year-old me is questioning all of the things I've been doing in FM14, but FM24, sorry, but here we are. FM14 was good. Remember Palmer? Was that 15? I don't know. But that's going to conclude then. If you've enjoyed today's video, again, please do leave a like on it. Make sure you subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. That's not how YouTube works anymore. I really am stuck in my old ways. Okay, see you again soon, team. Goodbye. What a game. What a game.